and welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot. My name's Louise, and today I'm going to be doing a channeled message. So let's get started. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. And if you are coming back for another video, thank you so much again for returning. Okay, so what is it that my collective needs to know today, Spirit? Ooh. Today is the 11/11 portal, which is a time of manifestation. And it definitely looks like there's something big happening here. You got the Tower and the Two of Swords. Seven of Swords. Let's leave that one in reverse. Anything else, Spirit? Something here that was in your life that was preventing you from working very hard, you've made the decision to move on from it in one way or another. This could be leaving a job, this could be breaking off a relationship, or deciding to invest less in one. But it was very obvious to you that it was taking away from your ability to create whatever fruitful abundance you're in the middle of creating right now. You could tell that this person was being very strategic with how they were trying to take from you. It almost seemed like they had a really close eye on you when they were doing this. But now they feel blinded because of something that you did or something that happened. We've got the Tower in the beginning of your reading. And this Tower signifies something crumbling in your life that had to fall. Something changing that initially seemed like a good idea, I'm hearing, but as time went on, it made itself evident that it wasn't going to be there for the long haul, if that makes sense. And this was because of how it made you feel. This was because of the fact that it didn't align with your destiny, with whatever it is that you're making here for your future. It made you feel disempowered. And it took away from your community in one way or another. You started to retrieve your energy away from this situation. And when you did that, it's like, okay, so what I'm getting with this Three of Pentacles, which is what I just pulled, is somebody investing really heavily in themselves and their own projects. And these people coming to them, I know this isn't the definition of this card, but this is the way I'm reading it. These people coming to him with all these tasks. And this person here, he's busy investing in his own projects. And so he's not going to go on and take on more projects. Like, he's already at his max capacity. And so I also see you saying no to a lot of demands. You could be very in demand at this time with whatever it is that you're creating. So it could be a time of great abundance for you coming up. And because of that, you've been shown your enemies, essentially. Shown people that are trying to leech off of you in these parasitic relationships. We just have Capricorn at the moment, but it's not necessary. And Capricorn can be a sign of, like, I know somebody that's a Capricorn, and Capricorns are very, like, hardworking. they're very good with money, and they're very serious. They're very business oriented. So that could describe you. Funny, right after the Devil, we have the Lovers. This past situation was also something that was getting in the way of you and another person. It was causing a lot of instability within your relationship. It was causing like a lot of upheaval. It was making you and your significant other worry about your future, because there was this choice between maybe this is you or the other person. It could have been either. This is a bit of a confusing energy to try to explain, so let me just kind of work through it. So with the Two of Swords and the Tower, I'm reading it as there was this third party in the center of your relationship, and either you or this other person had to like choose between your significant other or this other person, and it almost seemed like an ultimatum. And this didn't seem right, because if you have somebody that you're supposed to be with, then you don't have to choose between other relationships. You don't have to prioritize one over the other. They're just all going to fit flawlessly in your life. But if someone isn't supposed to be in your life, then oftentimes they start to get jealous. They start to demand more attention, or they try to manipulate the situation in order to get the attention, in order to confuse, in order to leech that energy. So I do get heavily that this is a person, but also this could be some sort of, like we said earlier, it could have been a job that was not doing well in your life, in your person's life, in your life. It was like degrading, and it was just making this other person really stressed out, because they had, okay, I get the word obligation. They felt like they had an obligation to go towards this thing, to give effort towards it, to give attention towards it, because they always had. But something here changed, and it changed the moment that they realized that maybe it was you that made a decision here to no longer react to, in the case of a person, to this person's mischievous ways, to their manipulation, to their roundabout way of getting attention, and, you know, maybe using guilt as a strategy, shame, even going behind your back to say things about you, while to your face saying things that, you know, they didn't mean, but they wanted any kind of energy that they could get from you. And so this person, they wanted to keep this person trapped. But I think what's happened here with this, with you moving on from this person, or maybe you were both going to the same job, maybe you were both invested in the same thing in one way or another. This could be, like we said, a job. This could be some sort of hobby that's no longer working for you or both of you. But this is such like an entangled energy. And when you stepped away from this person started to realize a lot of things about their relationship to it, because of how your life started to improve. Your happiness, your ability to be present in the relationship with you and them. And I think it really shined a lot of light on the fact that this was toxic and that this wasn't something that was supposed to be in their life forever. Or maybe just that things are supposed to change in the next chapter. So this 1111 portal seems like an ending to sorrow. And no longer looking back at the things that you've lost, but there could be a little bit of lingering sadness, of course, because losing a relationship is never easy. Losing a place that you used to work at as a place of stability, it's never easy. But when you accept something tumbling down that needs to be out of your life, this is what happens. You start to feel these passionate new beginnings. The doors open, and you quickly go from feeling like this to, this was at the bottom of the deck, to the Ace of Wands. Joy, abundance, passion. You feel like yourself again. You feel connected again. And the sting of losing these places, these people, these things, it's not so bad anymore, because the abundance that replaces it is tenfold. Like, it can't even compare. So Spirit really, that's funny, this popped out again. Spirit really wants you to focus on the abundance right now, the things that you've gained through losing this situation, through, it's almost like this thing was meant to be taken out of your life so that your life could feel like a more concentrated version of itself in the purest form. It almost went through like another sieve, if that's what it's called, like those like metal sieves that you like strain things through in order to get the chunks out. Sorry, I have something in my nose. And that's funny. I had like you know what I had in my tooth? I had a chunk of peanut butter, like a peanut chunk in my tooth. So it's like you're getting the chunks out of your life. But it's funny that I said chunk right before I did that, because it's chunky peanut butter. Maybe you're a fan of like smoother peanut butter. Or things are just gonna feel a lot smoother now in this next chapter of your life. It's like things won't feel so stuck. You know how peanut butter gets stuck to the roof of your mouth? Well, I feel like in this next chapter, it's not going to get stuck to the roof of your mouth. You're going to be able to speak your truth. You're going to be able to joyfully express yourself. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Queen of Pentacles is right. She's like the predecessor to the Empress. I could be wrong. But if you see there is a bunny, a little white bunny rabbit. And that's supposed to symbolize like abundance, yes, because of how they reproduce. But she's also keeping her eye on the right thing. So you could be really focused at this time on creating abundance for yourself and investing wholeheartedly in your projects. Now that you're no longer chained to this past person. I want to know, or this past situation. I want to know, because this is popping in my head. Will my collective be physically moving locations? Whatever that means for them. Will they be physically moving locations? Yes. 3 of Wands. You're going to be planning. You're going to be planning to move. So you'll be having some options. And and the next part of your life, you're gonna make the plans. You're gonna make the plans for where you want to move, but you're also going to, I just see a lot of choices here. You're gonna have a lot of choices to make, and they're all gonna, it might be a bit tough to make the choice, but how could you help me explain to the collective how to make this choice a little less tough? Focus on the one that brings you the most joy, regardless of how practical it seems. Because when you focus on what you want, that's when spirit, source, divine, whatever you want to call it, can bring it in for you in whatever way that needs to happen in your life. This new beginning, it allows you to just live life very joyfully. And I also feel like there's going to be a lot of criticism from the outside world that you're just not going to care about anymore. For the longest time with this collective, I was getting this card upright. And now it's in the reverse. So you guys have transmuted this sadness, this pain, this defensiveness from your past traumas. And you're going to be making decisions going forward based not out of fear, but out of a place of joy and abundance and where you want to be, as opposed to what's practical. Because practical only gets you so far. Like, practical is also subjective, and our subjective reality is only one of many. And if you're basing your future possibilities off of your subjective current reality, you will never grow past a certain point. And growth is very slow that way. You're adding extra barriers that don't need to be there. So Spirit wants you to write down your wildest dreams and make choices based off of that. But obviously in a way that you can right now. So I think that's what I got for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Today was a little bit of a short one because I have a few things to do today. But if this is where I leave you, have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. And if you want a private reading, I have some private readings down below. They're in this format. They're face-to-face and pretty reasonable prices. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, good morning, good night, whenever you're watching this reading.